Hello everyone, happy Thursday and thank you for stopping by the channel. My name is Talisha and I also go by CreativiTeeByT and I welcome you. So in today's video, I will be covering several topics, and those topics includes my 2022 sewing goals and expectations and my January sewing plans. Now, I know that we are just about midway through January, but there's always small and little quick projects that you can get done, and I have a couple of plans for that. So just stay tuned. And lastly, I will be announcing the giveaway winner for the Me May Holiday Fashion Show giveaway. So I'm pretty excited to share all things in these topics. So just stay tuned and let's get into the video. So to start, let's chat about my 2022 sewing goals and expectations. And I'm going to start by recapping the goals that I had set for 2021 to see if I managed to achieve those goals and if they were realistic and if I had planned to apply any of them to 2022. And then I will share the fresh and new goals for 2022. So one of the goals that I set for 2021 was to not overcommit to projects and limit my commitments to 2 projects per month. Did I achieve that goal? Well, for the most part, I did achieve that goal, and I kept a manageable sewing schedule until about towards the end of the year, and then I kind of like went bonkers. But that is a good goal that I plan to keep moving forward into this year, because I do work outside of the home, and not over committing helps me to stay balanced and not overwhelmed, because when you begin to feel overwhelmed with something, eventually you don't enjoy it, and I definitely don't want to lose my joy of sewing. So just because I am only going to commit to 2 projects per month doesn't mean that I will only make 2 things. It's just that I'm only going to guarantee that those particular projects will be completed, and only committing to 2 projects allows for me to participate in unforeseen challenges or unplanned challenges, I can say, without feeling like I have too much on my plate to participate. So yes, definitely a good goal, and I plan to stick with that. So I also set a goal last year to collaborate with other sewists, and did I achieve that goal? I'm sure you can answer that question by now. I think I went above and beyond when it comes to that. I totally enjoyed each and every one of my collaborations that I have with other sewists, because it allows for you to develop new relationships, and it makes sewing that particular garment that you're collaborating on even more fun. So at least it does for me. I always like to see what the other people's perspectives are on the same pattern, and see how they made it, and which view they decide to go with, and which fabric they decide to use. So yes, that is very fun for me, and I plan to collaborate with others this year as time allows. So the next goal that I had set in 2021 was to sew from my fabric stash. Well, that really didn't happen at all, but there is a good reason for that. I primarily have knits in my stash, because when I first started sewing, I really only sewed knit items. My style changed over time, with that change, I preferred more woven fabrics. So with that being said, I started purchasing woven fabrics for my projects, and I didn't sew from a stash that often, but I do have a plan this year to use those fabrics, because they are really nice, and I don't want them to just sit in my cubes forever, you know. So I'm definitely gonna develop that plan, make a concrete plan to get those things sewn up so that I can utilize them. So next on the recap list was to get better acquainted with my serger, because I had many issues with getting it to work properly, and I am pleased to announce that I had a much better year with my serger, and we have a better relationship. I took out some time to learn how to use more of the functions, I actually changed my thread colors the majority of the time that I used it, and I made 2 hoodies with the serger alone, and I didn't use my standard sewing machine at all. So I was very proud of that, and it went really quickly. So I can definitely see why people utilize their serger for projects like that. So yes, I'm very pleased with those results, and I know that there is a lot more that I can do with my serger, but I don't really plan to learn too much more in 2022 because I'm satisfied, I could say, for right now with what I do know. And there's other things that I want to direct my attention to as far as learning, and that's just not in it for right now, at least. So I'll leave that for a later time. And for the last recap, I mentioned that I wanted to make a puff quilt in 2021. I did not accomplish that goal at all. I purchased everything that I needed to purchase to make it, but I was never satisfied with the fabric options like at 100%. So I couldn't move forward with it. I just couldn't do it. When you make something like this that takes a lot of time and effort, typically you don't just want it to be like okay, you know. And in my eyes, I just felt like the fabric that I had purchased was only like okay. I loved it at the store, would get it home, I wasn't feeling it. So, and that's not how I wanted to feel about the quilt. So I didn't move forward with it, but I kind of feel like I don't know what I really want, because every time I find a fabric that I like, I end up spreading it out on my bed, and I just don't like it. So with that being said, I may have to settle with the feeling of it just being okay and just know that the finished project is going to be great, so that I can get the quilt made, because I really want to make it, and I do want to do that this year. So if you were wondering whatever happened to those quilt vlogs and the quilt updates, you didn't get them because I couldn't get it together. So now on to the new goals and expectations for 2022. So the first thing that I have on my list to learn this year is to learn how to make full bust adjustments. Okay, this past year was the first year that I had sewed a lot of garments for myself. And during the learning process of fit issues and things like that, I learned that making full bust adjustment is needed for me for most patterns. The patterns that have a W on them that stands for women are okay, and no adjustments are needed for the most part, but most patterns do not have W's on them, or either the sizes that start in the W's, which is generally like a 18 or maybe a 20, are not the right size for me for that particular pattern. So I'm definitely going to look into a class to learn how to do a full bust adjustment. I have looked at some tutorials on YouTube that were free, or you know, just random YouTubers showing you how to do full bust adjustments, but the explanations for me were not very clear, and I felt uncertain after watching it. So I hope that whatever class that I take is clear, so that I can make the adjustments that I need to move forward. If you have any suggestions on a good class to take, please let me know in the comments below, because I really want to get this class completed and learn how to do this early on in 2022. So a while back, I purchased a bundle of rolled hem feet from Amazon with the intentions on using them, but I have not. Last year, I learned to use my blind hem foot, and I started sewing buttons down with my button foot. So I do want to continue the trend of learning how to utilize the different feet for my sewing machine, and I'm going to start this year with the rolled hem feet. From what I can tell, it makes the job go by much faster when it comes to finishing your edges. So it sometimes, you know, even eliminates the necessity of serging. So I definitely want to give that a try and, you know, get that down and make it a normal regimen within my sewing. So that is a goal for this year, using my rolled hem feet. Another new goal that I have this year is to do some sew the looks. And sewing the look is when you find inspiration by either going to the stores and browsing clothes, or looking at photos of clothing or anything that you really like, really, and you want to duplicate that look. I personally think that it is fun and challenging, especially when it can be done at a fraction of the cost that you see in the store or online. And I want to challenge myself to do some of those throughout the year, and I will probably like turn it into a series without set dates, and it would just pop up whenever I do it, and you'll definitely know what it is. But if it all goes well this year, I may set expected dates throughout the year for 2023. But like I said, this year is going to be a trial year, but I really enjoy seeing videos like that on YouTube. I think it's fun. I think it's interesting. Like I said, I think it's challenging because you see something and then you kind of have to fire up your brain to see, oh, I can do this and I can use that and I can do this and I can do that to get that same look. So yes, I want to do those, and you can expect that on this channel. So another thing that I want to do is going to be sew-alongs or sew with me's, and this is something that I've always wanted to do on my channel, and I said that I was going to implement that in 2021, but I only did, I think, about one, and I actually recorded a bunch but never got around to editing them. So I'm definitely going to make a conscious effort to make it happen this year, and I want to implement them because watching those on other people's channels is something that I enjoy, like I said, especially the sew with me's, because even though when people do sews with me's, they're not actually given like step-by-step instructions, you know what they're doing because you already know how to sew, and it's just interesting to me. You know, I like it, and it's very relaxing, so I want to do it too. So I figure someone else may be like me and they like it too, maybe not, but like I said, I do want to implement sew-alongs and sew with me's, and they would generally be for easy patterns. And then there's the good old quilt again that I'm bringing up. I've already touched on this, you know, just a couple of minutes ago, so I won't go into great detail, but like I said, I really want to get this puff quilt made. I just need to find the right fabric so I can feel pleased with my overall project, and I have to know that my only options as far as fabric is concerned is what I have access to, because I like to look and feel for projects like that. So I just need to go ahead and make a choice and get it done. So maybe by December of 2022 I will have a quilt to show you. So outside of what I have already stated, I will continue to do fabric and pattern hauls because I just love fabric and patterns, and I will probably never participate in like a no buy challenge because this hobby is something that is in my life that makes me happy, and I am not a big like money spender. So if I want fabric or patterns, I'm gonna buy them because we work hard every day. It's one of the things that makes me happy, and I'm not gonna go broke or neglect my bills by making those purchases, and I deserve it, and I will get every last one that I want. However, like I said, I will continue with those hauls, and I will always continue to do pattern reviews as well. That's like a big thing of mine. I think that they're very helpful when I look them up, and I want to be a resource to others as well. And as far as my uploading schedule, I have been uploading every Sunday and Thursday at approximately 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Every now and then the time has been off due to one thing or another, or I may not upload on one of those days, but those situations are rare and few, and I do like that Sunday and Thursday schedule for me, and I plan to continue that schedule of Sunday and Thursdays at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you have not noticed the pattern, you can mark that, because that's basically what I will continue to do for 2022. So now we will move on to my January sewing plans. So during the month of January, I usually take it a little easy because December is usually like crammed with a lot of holiday makes and crafts, and this year was even more busy than ever because of the Me Holiday Fashion Show. So I definitely don't have many huge plans for January set aside, but I do have a few. And the first garment that I plan to make is the toaster sweater that I had planned to make last month, but I had a hiccup with a couple of garments that caused me to take longer to make, and it ultimately caused me to not be able to complete certain projects that I had planned, and this is one of them. So the pattern number is Simplicity 8529, and it's by Sew House 7, and I actually have this cut out already and ready to sew up. So I'm gonna be getting this done very soon, and by the looks of this, I will have this sewn up in like an hour. So look out for this review really soon. And I plan to make view B, and here is the fabric that I plan to use to make it. I also didn't get a chance to make Simplicity 8947, so I want to get that made up as well, and I want to make view D with view A's collar. This is another one that I feel can be made up super quick because there's no facings involved, and a lot of times I just find sewing things with bands as finishings goes by very quickly, and I'm here for that, okay? She's here for that. And lastly, for the sewing plans, I want to finish my son's turtleneck. This was also a plan that I had for last month that I didn't get around to because of the issues that I had with other projects, but I plan to use Simplicity 8807, which is a girl's pattern, but I couldn't find a boy turtleneck pattern within the big four. I didn't want to download any, and I figured as long as I make a couple of adjustments, like keeping the hemline the same length and not putting in the slits and things like that, it will be just fine, not even noticeable at all. So I had planned to get this made, like I said, for him last month, but it's gonna be done this month. Just simple, easy projects, and yeah. So that's all of the sewing projects that I have for January, and they're all very easy, like one-day projects, and that's all I need for January, you know. And I went through those very quickly because I touched on those last month. These are all projects that are just flowing over into January that I didn't get done in December. So yeah. It has been about 19 degrees here, like every day, with a real feel of lower temperatures, and because we are now in the colder temperatures with an occasional burst of like high 20s, I just wanted to make sure that I sewed up some warmer clothes until it's time to start sewing for spring. So those are my plans. All right, so moving on to the giveaway. I hosted the Me Holiday Fashion Show, where every week myself and a collaborator sewed a garment for the different winter holiday themes, and I hosted a giveaway on the final showing. I was supposed to announce the winner the following video, but I became ill and I wasn't able to film and I wasn't able to upload, so I am going to announce the winner today. So I selected the winner by putting all of the entries into a random name selector on the internet, and the winner is, drumroll, Brooke Camerata. So congratulations, Brooke. I am excited for you. And if you are watching, please send me your email address so that we can discuss the details of me sending your package. So I think I have covered everything. If you can think of something that maybe you want answered or something that I didn't cover, please leave it in the comments section below and I will be more than willing to answer those questions. And please let me know what you think about my goals and my expectations, my January sewing plans, you know, all that. If you enjoyed this video, please click the like button. And if you are not subscribed, go ahead and click that subscribe button and click the gray notification bell so that you can be notified whenever I upload a video. Thank you to all of my new and returning subscribers for your support, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!